Friend messages you and says, I want to do a Mirror Cup battle. You ask them what format. They say Twilight. And it's been 5-6 months now since we had Twilight originally, and you have to ask yourself, what Pokemon do I even have that qualify for Twilight Cup? Well, today, trainers, we're going to be discussing the important aspects of texture placement in Pokemon Go. Welcome to the channel, trainers. My name is Oro Chris. I am your catching coach, and today we're going to be discussing texture placement and utilizing the search function in Pokemon Go. So let's talk about how this works. In Pokemon Go, you have the ability to use search functions to find what Pokemon you have in your Pokemon storage. For example, if I wanted to have all the water types available to me, I would type in just the type water, and boom, everything that I have in my storage with water typing will appear just by typing in the type. Now you can combine connectors. For example, the search term water with a comma and then flying would act as an OR. Water, comma, acting as an OR, flying will produce both water type Pokemon and flying type Pokemon. But if we wanted to know what Pokemon have both of these, we would use an AND symbol, an ampersand. Water and flying. Right. And now we're going to see all of the Pokemon that we have that are both water and flying. Well, what we can do is combine the search functions within Pokemon Go's bag storage with the criteria for each of the Silph Arena's Mirror Cup reruns to find out what Pokemon do we have for each of the featured cups. So for example, Boulder is featuring Fighting, Steel, Ground, and Rock type Pokemon. So I need to have a search that's going to produce for Silph Arena, CP under 1500, Pokemon with any of those 4 types. So for me, I would type in, my short term is the first syllable of the cup. I would hit space because because the iPhone keyboard doesn't work with the done. You need to have the space to trigger the texture placement. And then right at my fingertips, I can see all of the Pokemon that I have in my storage that have any of those 4 eligible types and that are under the CP limit for Great League or competitive PvP in the Silph Arena. Now, the magic, the secret sauce, what a lot of the search strings you'll find on Reddit and other places don't include, and what I think is the extra special way to really know what do I actually have available to me, because here, I ain't going to be using a Gastrodon, okay? I've got a ton of Pokemon here. A lot of these are things, even up in the 1500 range, that aren't TM, don't have the right moves and everything else. They're just things that I've been, storing. For example, this Lunatone. It's only got 1 set of moves. It may or may not be powered up to the best level. It's not actually something that I'm going to use. So if a friend messages me and says, hey, I want to do a battle, what do you have for this cup? I don't know at a moment's glance by using this search function if I really have a strong roster or if this is just a bunch of things in my bag storage that are clogging up space. So the secret sauce, the extra thing that you want to add, is you add in the search for 3 moves. For me personally, no Pokemon that I'm going to use in a competitive tournament has only 1 charge move, with the potential exception of Jirachi at this point. We're waiting on that special research for the extra candy. But everything else, I'm always going to put on a 2nd charge move and have it ready for counter coverage or an alternative for whatever you need to optimize your damage spread. So with this, I would add into my texture placement function, I've added a search, not just with the Boulder search string. At the beginning, I've added in the search function for looking for all Pokemon with 3 moves, and that is exclamation point, @ 3, move. And at a glance, I can then see all Pokemon that I've added a second charge move to. We're going to see here I've got Melmetal, he's ready to go. I've got Hypno, I've got Frostlass, and the search, everything that I need at a moment's glance, because I know these Pokemon have the second move already added, and I've likely already TM'd them and have them ready to go. So what you do is you add that to the search function for the Silph Arena Cup that you're searching for. So I've already done that in my text replacement. I'll just demonstrate that here. For me, instead of just doing the first syllable, that bold for the Boulder Cup, I added in a 3 to signify when I'm looking for Pokemon with the 3 moves and of that type. So 3 bold will produce all Pokemon that I've got available in my storage that have the second move added. I'm still salty. I didn't want to add the second move there. 50,000. Oh, it might have been 10,000. Regardless. Wasn't going to use it. But, so we've got all the Pokemon that I have that register underneath the 1500 range that are of the specific type restrictions for the Silph Arena's Boulder Cup, that being Ground, Rock, Steel, and Fighting, and all Pokemon that have added a second move. Now in my mind, I'm going to have to think potentially if there is something that I want to use that doesn't have the second move added, like Jirachi. This is going to be something where you're going to have to go back and reflect on, is there anything else? And that's why you've got, it's a good idea to add both search functions. One just for the types to see what all is in your bag storage, but then when you want to really refine and see what have I actually added the second move to, which likely means I've already powered it up to the level that it needs to be, and I've already TM'd it to whatever I'm going to be using it for. And there is a simple way to find out what Pokemon you've got for that. Same thing if my friend asks me, hey, let's do some Twilight. So I'm going to do 3 and then Twi. First syllable is the short, is the abbreviation that I use. You can use whatever you want. 3 Twi returns all Pokemon that have added the second move and that are under the 1500 range that fit within Fairy, Poison, Dark, or Ghost type to be eligible for Twilight. So then I can look through my roster and decide, okay, what looks good, what doesn't, put together a team. Tip that I've used, if it's the first syllable of the cup is something that was going to be easy to come across in normal usage, like Nightmare Cup, the first syllable, night being its own word, it's something potentially that you could type out into your phone's messaging or something else, and then all of a sudden you're going to populate this huge string of CP 1500 and all these types. So what I've done is, if it's a syllable, the first syllable of the word that does not fit within normal usage, like Twilight, I'm not going to type in TWI for in typical usage, then I just leave the first syllable, and that's the search function for finding all Pokemon that are within that typing. And then if I'm adding that search function for, or that additional factor for the Pokemon that have the second move added, then I would type in 3 Twi or 3 bold for Boulder. Here, Nightmare is something that I would use, so I've typed out Cup. So Night Cup is going to return all Pokemon that fit within those 4 types. And then if I wanted to have 3 Night, now here, because 3 Night's not something I'm likely going to type, I didn't in my abbreviation for it add in the cup. So 3 Night. Wait, that's right. This was the example that I was going to show you. So, in order to add this on iPhone, what you're going to do is you're going to go into Settings. Then you're going to go to General and Keyboard. And then Text Replacement. And right there you can see all of the text replacements that I've currently got added. We're going to add in a new one. So we'll start by adding in that search function for the Pokemon that have the second charge move added. We're going to go to exclamation point at remove. And then now we're going to add in the traditional search function for the types. So for Nightmare Cup, it was because this is in Silph Arena, CP under 1500, and then an and symbol, ampersand if you're getting fancy, and then we're going to type in the types, which is dark, psychic, and fighting. Now it's at this point what we're also going to add in is that and symbol, because we need to remove from the search function the Pokemon that have been excluded on the ban list. We've got legendaries, we've got mythicals, and then Sableye and Medicham. We're going to do an and symbol. Exclusion function for the search tools is an exclamation point. So we're going to add an exclamation point and then legendary and symbol. Now we'll get rid of the mythicals. Now we'll get rid of Sableye, which is by typing in the Pokedex number, you can find what Pokemon, you can do a search for the Pokemon by its Pokedex number. And exclamation point Medicham, which is 308. And then because we're going to add the search function, we're going to go 3 night, save. Now we've got that added. We'll go back to here. And there we go. We've got all Pokemon that fit within the 1500 CP limit that have got one of the 3 permitted types, those being Psychic, Fighting, and Dark for the Nightmare Cup, and Pokemon that have added the second move to, and we've excluded from this Pokemon like Deoxys or Medicham, Sableye, and the other mythicals and legendaries. And just to demonstrate this, so we'll get rid of this 308, we'll get rid of this mythical, and then once we get rid of some of those, you can see that the search function for these types would have otherwise produced Deoxys defense form. But because we added that limiter, that no exclamation point mythical, we're now going to remove the search from including mythical, legendaries, and so forth. So in the description, I'm going to put a link to a document that has all of these search functions spelled out for you. That way you can add those into your text replacement. If you've got a Google phone, that's probably something, I'm sure text replacement, there's a zillion tutorials available on YouTube that will explain how to work in text replacement for Android and any other devices. If you got iPhone, again, it was real simple. You go into your settings, general, and then keyboards, text replacement, and then you type in the text replacement that you want or need. But that's about it, guys. I hope that this was helpful. If you're interested in Pokemon Go, competitive PvP, and basically anything Pokemon related, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of the latest videos that are coming out on the channel. And if you like this video, found it helpful, be sure to leave a like and go ahead and leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what cup you're most excited to be re-engaging with regard to the Mirror Cup. This is our opportunity to reflect on the first season of Pokemon Go competitive PvP in the Silph Arena. Personally, I'm really looking forward to another run at regionals. I was lucky enough to pull out a win in my regionals in Cincinnati, and I'm hoping to continue the streak going this time. But with that, we will be signing out, and thank you very much. As an aside, I hope that you were impressed with the sub button notification. I watched a tutorial on YouTube with an amazingly talented video editor, guy named JRTV. If you're into video editing, check him out, he's awesome. But in 30 minutes, he created a sub bell and made a video. I'm sure he could have done it in 5 or 10. And I watched this video for no lie 7 hours. And I could not figure out how to get this thing working. So I think it's working now. It should be in the video. If there is a sub button, I hope you were impressed with it, because The struggle is real. All right,